Hi, everybody. I'm Dianne Weinstein of Ashford University. Today, I will be talking about the topic of ethnocentrism relative to the workplace and the classroom. Our agenda for this session is to define the topic of ethnocentrism, understand what it is and why it happens, develop awareness and appreciation of ethnocentric issues, identify possible reasons for ethnocentrism, and explore ethnocentrism in ourselves and others. Last but not least, we will talk about some tips and techniques to reduce or eliminate ethnocentrism. Okay, so let's begin. Ethnocentrism has been defined as an evaluative bias in favor of one's own group and the perception of other groups being inferior. Sumner, the originator of the term, described ethnocentrism as the view of things in which one's own group is the center of everything, and all others are scaled and rated with reference to it. Each group nourishes its own pride and vanity, boasts itself superior, exalts in its own divinities, and looks with contempt on outsiders. Okay. Well, let's consider this example of ethnocentrism. People in the United States may view the U.S. as a better nation than other nations. Why? Americans who believe we have a good education system and are economically sound may view our country as being better educated and more economically sound. And so therefore we're better than other countries. This is one illustration of how one's culture may encourage us to judge other cultures in relationship to our own culture's values and standards. Put another way, people see the world through the lens of their own culture. How about a visual to help us understand this concept further? If you were to take out a large piece of paper, letter size, legal size, doesn't matter, and roll it up like a tube like you see on the screen picture. Then look at someone or something through the rolled tube of paper. While looking through this makeshift lens, you will probably be making judgments about the person or thing that you're looking at. Is this person or thing that you're looking at big, small, dark, light, whatever? The reality is that you made these conclusions about the person or thing you viewed based on a very limited frame of reference. That is, you're looking at the person or thing through a small tube. Well, when you think about it, ethnocentrism works in a similar way. When it comes to cultures and group behavior, people look at other cultures and group behavior through their own viewing tube, which provides a very limited frame of reference. And this limited focus can distort our thinking of what is really going on with this other person or thing. So, for example, a CEO may decide not to do business with a country in a foreign country because he or she believes that people in this country aren't as well educated than our country and deem this group to be inferior. Or a student won't work with another student on a team because he or she assumes that the student won't be able to be a good team player because the student is deaf or blind. So we can appreciate that ethnocentrism can happen. But why? Why are people ethnocentric? Various psychological theories have been identified in an attempt to explain the origins of ethnocentrism. One hypothesis is that ethnocentric tendencies of parents are taught to their children, just like attitudes about religion or politics are taught. Children hear their parents discussing the different groups of people and retain information that forms the basis for ethnocentric views. A second hypothesis relates to childbearing practices of strict parents. The authoritarian personality theory suggests that children of strict parents may not have been able to express hostility towards their parents. Instead, these children learn to displace their hostility onto weaker target groups. And as a result, people with authoritarian personalities may categorize individuals into us versus we groups and view their own individual group as superior. The belief congruous theory suggests that the most significant determinant of an individual's view towards another person is the congruence between the two people's beliefs, attitudes, and values. So when high similarity in beliefs, values, and attitudes occur, there is attraction between these people. Alternatively, dissimilarity amongst beliefs, attitudes, and values may encourage a negative orientation towards others. The realistic conflict theory suggests that hostility between two groups occurs due to a real or perceived conflicting set of objectives which create competition between the two groups. Feelings of resentment arise because each group envisions only one group can be the winner of the competition. As a result, negative stereotypes about and hostility towards the other group may develop. And the frustration-aggression theory suggests that anger arises when individuals believe that they're not being fairly treated. This anger results in intergroup conflict, which can escalate into ethnocentrism. According to the related scapegoat theory, people may be prejudiced towards a group and use the group they dislike as the target for their anger as a way to vent their frustrations with various issues. So, for example, the scapegoat theory suggests that Germans view Jewish people as scapegoats for German country problems. A concentration of anger built up amongst the Jewish population, rather the German population, which resulted in massive ethnocentric hatred of Jewish people. And the list of theories goes on. The social identity theory suggests that individuals seek out group membership to validate their own self-esteem. However, membership in the group is not enough to confirm self-esteem. Instead, individuals need to feel that they are in the correct group, which produces the need to make favorable distinctions between their own preferred group versus other groups. Positive comparisons of one group to another group makes people feel that their group is superior. Alternatively, the relative deprivation theory refers to the discontent people feel when they compare their positions to those of other people and realize that they have less than their peers. It is a condition that is measured by comparing one's group situation to the situation of those who are advantaged, and ethnocentrism often results. Additionally, Barger suggests that ethnocentrism can be defined as making false assumptions about other people's ways based on one's own limited experience. Barger suggests that what we have experienced in our own lives is the basis for our reality. It's what we expect. It's the way things work for us. And our limited experiences become the basis for interpreting new experiences, including new people. So if another group's behaviors are not how our group operates, we may view the other group's behaviors as abnormal. So as we can see, there are a lot of potential reasons why ethnocentrism can occur. So are you ethnocentric? Well, probably. We all are to some degree. Look at the groups of people that I listed in the column on the left side of the screen, going down the page. Think about it. Would you want to interact with someone 70 years old and above or not, and why? Or would you prefer to interact with someone between 20 to 39? Do you look down on one group versus the other? Or do you think one group is more superior than the other? How do you feel about interacting with someone who is deaf or blind or in a wheelchair? Are you comfortable in this situation or shy away from these situations? Would you rather interact with someone of your own gender or a different sex, and why? And how about people from different country cultures? How do you feel about interacting with someone from Russia, Kenya, China, for example? Does it matter? Would you treat people in any of these groups differently because they are different than you? Chances are you will be interacting with different people at work and or at school. Therefore, it's helpful to understand how you might be ethnocentric and how to eliminate or reduce it. How might ethnocentrism impact you? Consider, will ethnocentrism influence your interactions relative to meeting new people? For example, maybe you won't want to try a new activity or attend a meeting because only younger people are involved in this activity. Consider, who do you network with for work opportunities and why? Could ethnocentrism impact if or how you obtain a new job? Could ethnocentrism impact whether you be open to ideas discussed at work or in a class? Will you share ideas with older or younger people? Will being ethnocentric influence who you will work with at work or in a classroom? Will you think not to work with certain people because they're not like you? Here are some tips and techniques to reduce or eliminate ethnocentrism. First, it's important to recognize that we will be working with people in school and in the workplace who are different than us, and that ethnocentrism can happen to any or all of us, and that it's important to be open to the ideas of others, and recognize that we can be ethnocentric and judge, misinterpret, or misunderstand others based upon our own standards and values. And what's more, others may judge, misinterpret, or misunderstand us based upon their own values and standards. Recognize that ethnocentrism can impact decision-making activities for all of us, and can cause conflicts, and can interfere with business or classroom success. With this idea in mind, it would be helpful to think about what could go wrong or right when interacting with others, and how ethnocentrism might impact the interactions that we're having. A positive way to consider ethnocentrism is to view interactions with others as learning opportunities and consider what can be improved. And of course, to provide the same or greater level of respect and confidence in others that you would want them to demonstrate in you. In conclusion, let's recap our session today. We defined ethnocentrism. We developed awareness and appreciation of ethnocentric issues. We identified potential reasons for ethnocentrism and recognized the potential for ethnocentrism in ourselves and others, and identifies tips and techniques to reduce and eliminate ethnocentrism. Thank you for participating in today's session. Hope you found the session to be helpful, and have a great day.